Hey guys, in today's video, we are talking about the Park City real estate market. How have things gone this year? What do you need to know if you are a buyer? And what do you need to know if you're a home seller? These are the questions that I really want to answer in today's video. So let's jump right into going over the Park City real estate market update. First off, Park City consists of a lot of different areas. You have Old Town and in town, kind of the Park City limits, which is the 84060. You also have Snyderville Basin, which is the 84098. It has a lot of different neighborhoods. And if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that when I'm talking about Park City real estate market updates, I'm really talking about how segmented our market is because Park City is really a tale of two cities. And you have the 84060, the 84098, plus we have a brand like Jordanelle is exploding. Then we also have the Heber Valley, which is in Wasatch County. We have Camas Valley, which is also starting to grow, as well as Colville. So those are kind of mini markets of their own that are sort of the outliers of Park City. So let's jump into what we need to know today. So first off, the overall market. I think it's really, really important to know that we have gone up 9%. 9% year over year. This is in an increase across the entire market, right? This is single family homes to condos to townhomes and to land. These are all combined. We have gone up 9%. That is a really important number that you're going to want to remember. So some of the statistics are how long are homes staying on the market? What is the absorption rate? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Well, a balanced market is really like 6 months, right? So the average time on the market right now is 5.7 months. In a normal Park City market, which what we consider normal would be the years that were of 2013, January of 2013, all the way to March of 2020, which is right before the pandemic started. That's what we consider normal. And a normal absorption rate is about 7.2 months. Now, why so high? Because we have very expensive real estate. We're resort town real estate, we're a ski town, we're just very different from the rest of the country. And we're also incredibly different than our own state, which brings me to the next point is that Park City has its own MLS. You really need a local agent to get the most accurate data and there are some great Salt Lake agents out there, don't get me wrong, but they're not a part of the Park City MLS. And so the data that they are going off of, which is Utah Real Estate MLS, which is the entire state of Utah, doesn't have half the listings that Park City has. So therefore, they're reporting inaccurate data because most of the listings aren't even on the entire state of Utah. They're only on the Park City MLS. So something to keep in mind. So inventory has improved 16.5% since last year. Our inventory has improved 283% since the pandemic. So if you can see this chart right here, I mean, we are almost falling off a cliff during the pandemic. And then we are starting to gain traction again, right? So this was our inventory during the pandemic, right? And you can see it throughout here. This line that on the blue chart over here, that line represents stable markets from 2013 to 2020. So our inventory, so this is what you want to know, is that inventory remains about 19% below our normal stable years. So what does that mean? It means that we still have low inventory, even though we have more than we did during the pandemic. So overall, our single family homes were up 1%. So if you look at where all the red circles are, single family, everything that's highlighted in blue is going to be year over year, and the white is going to be since last quarter. So year over year, we're up 1% for single family. This is all areas. This is our entire overall market. For condos, it's flat. We haven't gone up. We haven't gone down. For land, we're up 8%. So we are up 9% prices have gone up in every single property category, 9%. So for single family homes, again, we've gone up 1%. For Park City, um, for the Park City limits, we have gone, this is the 84060, we've decreased by 8%. For Park City limits, condo and townhome, which is the 84060, we've increased 10%. Now, this is in prices. For land, we've decreased by 21%. So if we go back to that, all those numbers are going to be right there, and the median price is where I am looking in that column. So if we go jump over to condo, the total market has decreased by 3%. So the actual condo market has gone down a little bit. In the single family in Snyderville Basin, right, the 84098, single family homes have increased by 5%, reflecting on this slide here. So Snyderville Basin, we're up 5%. So median price of $2.107,500. Condo townhome, the 84098, it's decreased by 11%, and land has actually increased by 6%. Now, if we look at land here in the Park City limits, it's down 21%, but in Snyderville Basin, it's up 6%. At Jordanelle, it's up 71%. Heber, it's down 7. Camas, it's down 26, but total overall market, we're up 8%. So the crazy thing is how much prices have gone up in the Jordanelle area. Now, if you've watched previous videos of mine, I told you this area is exploding. It has all new development. It's all new everything. It's the future of Park City. Therefore, you needed to get in early to get the best prices. So Jordanelle single family has gone up 65% price-wise. Condos and townhomes have gone up 7%, and land in the Jordanelle area has gone up 71%. So for the Heber Valley area, here's kind of a quick rundown of the recent trends and the prices. So the average price of a single family home in the Heber area has actually gone down 13%. The average price of a Heber Valley condo and townhome is flat, it hasn't changed, and the value of land has actually decreased by 7%. So why is that? Because Heber is a market where the median price is just hovering right under $1 million. And what do we know about Heber? It's a younger demographic, which means it's a lot of first-time home buyers, which means it's also a lot of people that need to get financing to secure financing. So what do we know about the market right now and interest rates? They are super high. So places that are more interest rate sensitive, like Heber, Camas, Colville, Salt Lake, obviously, are going to have a slower market. The prices are going to be decreasing because people just can't afford to buy with interest rates this high. Park City, the 84060, the 84098 is a different situation because most of our buyers are cash buyers. It is 50% cash. I think every client that I have helped this year has been a cash buyer except for one, and or two deals have not been cash, but one of those deals they absolutely had the funds to be cash. They just decided last minute that they didn't want to be cash and they wanted to do an ARM. And they have a lender that they have that all worked out with. And, they were very high level, very affluent, very sophisticated buyers who had bought like their fourth house this year. So, and they bought up in Deer Valley. So not a cheap house. And they had the cash to buy cash, but they decided that they wanted to do financing. But every other client that I've helped this year has been cash. So overall area trends. The average price of properties in the area has seen a slight increase. So we've gone up 0.6% year over year. So that's the entire market, all properties. We've gone up 0.6%. So one thing that I know about Park City, prices don't really crash. It doesn't really fall here. It either flattens out and then it does a little stair step where it goes up and then we go flat and then it goes up and then we go flat. The median price of condos and townhomes has decreased by 3%, but I believe that's mainly due to high interest rates because a lot of the condos, people are looking to get into the Park City market, for under $1 million or $800K to $2 million. And a lot of people buying in that price point, buying in that type of condo is going to be getting a loan. And so I believe that it is high interest rates that have caused that. And it's a lack of property. There's just a lot of older properties that are on the market, older buildings. They're not updated. They're not in good condition. Whoever has to buy them has to come in and do a lot of work to them. So that's why I believe we've had sort of a decrease in condos and townhomes. But on the other hand, the value of land in all areas has gone up 8%. So land has also increased. Now we want to know for sellers, how long will it take to sell your home? So that depends on the price, the location, the condition of the property, the features of the property. This is bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, acreage, the amenities. A lot of times when you're competing in a higher price point in Park City, when you are in that $4 million range, and you're in a neighborhood like Park Meadows or Thames Canyon or Prospector, or Deer Valley, you're going to be competing with the private gated communities, the clubs, Tuhey, Glenwild, Promontory. And what those clubs offer is they're very rich and heavy in amenities, golf courses, clubhouses, pools, lots of things to do, on-site clubs at the ski resorts. So when you're in that higher price point, and Sun Peak is also an area where it has a lot of higher end properties like Deer Valley, but you don't have the amenities that you do at Promontory. So when you're a $4 or $5 million house in Sun Peak, you are competing directly with what's available in Promontory. Then you also have the market. What's going on in the world? What's going on in the economy? Financing, interest rates. What do we know? Interest rates are at an all-time high right now. Prices are also really high. We have low inventory. So home affordability is the worst it's been in a really long time. Then we also have the marketing. Who is your buyer? It's really important that when the only thing that an agent, a real estate agent, controls out of all 8 of these things that affect the sale of your property is the marketing. And a good agent is going to know exactly, okay, we need to have good copy on the description. We need to have excellent photos. The home has to be in absolutely killer show ready condition. It needs to be super clean and it needs to have good furniture in there. I am a firm believer that you can make a bad house look good with the right staging because people are visual. And you can also make a really amazing property look terrible if you have old, dated, ugly furniture. Which brings me to my next point. High-end properties absolutely must be staged. If you're not a designer or you didn't have someone come in and you didn't have your home interior, like an interior decorator come into your property and zhuzh it up, but you're in that luxury price point, the furniture really, 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 really needs to speak to today's buyer. So let's talk about absorption rate. This is a very big deal. So this is going to be the magic number. There is a breaking point. So for in town, this is the 84060 condos. If you are below $1.65 million for a condo, if you're under that price point, it should take you about 4.3 months to sell. If you're over that price point, it's going to take you about 10.6 months to sell. Now, the previous slide that we just went over, that could be very dependent on all 8 of these things. You could have a really high-end killer property in Deer Valley, and it could go in a week or 2 simply because there is somebody who's been wanting that property for a really long time. It's completely turnkey. It's in great condition. The furniture is included. They don't have to come in and do anything to it. So that leads me to my next point. Properties that are in good condition, that are updated, that are well maintained, that are priced well, that are in a desirable location are still getting multiple offers. So single family in town, if there is also a magic number, and that magic number is 3.570. So that's the breaking point. If you're under 3,570, about 5.5 months to sell. If you're above 3.5 million, 11.1 months to sell. Now, if we look at the Snyderville Basin, there's also a breaking point. So if you are under $750,000 for a condo or townhome, you'll sell in about 3.6 months. And if you're over 975, it's going to be about 18.7 months to sell. For single family out here, the breaking point is 2.395 million. So if you're under 2.3, it should take you about 6.3 months to sell or less. And if you're above that price point, about 12.8 months to sell. For the Heber Valley, that magic number is 899. So basically almost like right at 900K. If you're under 900K, it should take about 5.7 months to sell. If you're over that price point, 14.1 months. Again, because Heber Valley is an interest rate sensitive market, because majority of the buyers down there are using a loan to buy a property. If you don't think that price plays a huge role in how fast your home will sell or sit, then we need to go back. You need to rewind this video and you need to look at the breaking point numbers again, because you could be a home seller that's thinking maybe you want to put your house on the market, or you could be somebody that's sitting on the market going, why in the hell is my house not selling? And you could look at this price point and go, okay, where are we at on the scale of this price point? How long have we actually been on the market? How many showings have we had? Are we getting good traffic? Are we still getting good interest? Is it the interior of our home? What is the feedback? Are the people that are showing it, are they saying it's a little sleepy, it's a little dated, it's too much work, the price is too high? You really want to listen to feedback. So price-wise, I believe that Park City is one of the best places to park your money. If you are somebody who wants to put your money into real estate, let it sit and just watch it appreciate over time, it is a very strong and stable market to park your money and let it appreciate over time. It is a fabulous investment. We are a very safe market. And this beautiful slide that Mr. Rick Klein always does for all of us at the Park City Board of Realtors. He used to be a mortgage lender and he is now retired, but he still does all of these slides for us. So he pulls all this data and creates these amazing slides. So prices in the long run have appreciated 6.8%, right? So he has taken it all the way back to, I believe, January of 2001, all the way up to this point in time now. Prices have appreciated 6.8% on average over all the span of all these years. I think that the scarier that the world gets, the better that Park City looks, because we are an escape. We're a safe haven. We have access to the most beautiful playground on earth, to camping, to snowboarding, to skiing, to hiking, to biking. It's a very affluent place. People are incredible. The community here is incredible. And one thing that I do know is that when the pandemic hit, I mean, this market exploded. So one thing I do know is that the scarier that the world gets, the better that Park City looks. And it's a very safe place to park your money over the long haul. So what do you need to know as a buyer? Well, I believe the important information for prospective home buyers is that prices are on the rise. Prices are going up. So if you're still waiting on the sidelines, waiting for prices to come down, it's going to be a costly mistake. I truly believe that you will pay more this time next year than you would. Prices are going to be more expensive next year than they are right now. Also, to receive my assistance, you have to become a client, not just a customer. And I've really been wanting to reiterate this to people, because in the state of Utah, there are 3 things that must happen before I can actually legally represent you as a buyer. Before any agent can legally represent a home buyer, there are 3 documents that actually have to be signed. One is a buyer broker agreement, one is a wire fraud disclosure, and one is a buyer due diligence checklist. These 3 documents are wrapped up into basically like what I like to call like a buyer consultation, which would be the same thing that if I was sitting down and having a listing consultation with a home seller, going over all the things and the process of selling your home and what to expect. This is the same thing that I need to do for you as a buyer. So it's really, really important that if you are serious about looking for property here, that you really make that connection with me. We book a Zoom call and we have that in-person meeting, and you have to be the one to hire me. We can't just like jump in my car and go look at properties. Can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Focus, because we can't do that, because my focus with people is I don't want transactional relationships with people. I want forever clients. I want to build relationships with people. I want people to use me and refer me and utilize me down the line over and over and over again because I did such an extraordinary job for you. So let's talk prices. So if you compare what prices are right now land wise to what they were back in 2022, which it was last year, we're up 46%. If you compare them back to 2021, we're up 88%. Back to 2020, we're up 191% for land. That is how much it's gone up since the pandemic. So you don't see a drop here in any prices. Next, single family and condo. Compared to last year, 2022, prices have gone up 6.6%. So I'm telling you right now, the data does not lie. I'm not just saying this because I'm a real estate agent and it's a great time to buy. Every time you talk to me, it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to buy. No, like it is, prices will be more expensive. So unless you are sitting on a lot of money and it doesn't matter when you buy, and you're just waiting for that right time in your life, then it doesn't matter. But if you are worried about being priced out of this market, then you definitely need to start acting fast. We're up 24% since 2021, and 2020 we're up 53%. So our prices have doubled since COVID. So I want to talk about some of the real estate observations that I have noticed. So luxury properties, I've had a lot of inquiries about people who are interested in Midway. And what I've known is that luxury properties in Midway are in high demand. Anything that's priced 2 million and above, people are looking for, people are searching for, people really, really want this high-end luxury property in Midway, because I think with everything that's happening at the Jordanelle, with Deer Valley now operating the Mayflower and that turning into a ski area, Midway's being right there, it's almost turned into like a little ski town, right? And what else I've noticed is that it's very, very challenging to find a home under 800K in Midway. So despite that our units are down and our volume is down, right? We sold less houses, the volume's also down, but the prices are going up. And I just proved to you in this entire slide deck that prices are still on the rise. The interest rates are keeping the market slow. So if you're somebody that needs to sell your house, going back to those slides of, how long will it take my house to sell? Well, that depends on the price point that you're in. It also depends on the location, the style of your property, the condition, the features of it, the amenities that go with it. And I truly believe that every neighborhood is so super different and segmented, because I think the $2 to $3 million market in Park City is extra slow, because that price point seems to be where people are still getting a loan. And because interest rates are so high, that's why that price point is so slow. Anything that's kind of $1 million and under is going to be a first-time home buyer or 1031 exchange money. And the entry point pricing of a Park City property is $1.5 million. That is entry point pricing. That doesn't get you a brand spanking new home, maybe in Silver Creek Village, but not in the 84060 and not in the 84098. It gets you a home that's 30 years old that needs some updating and some work. But if you can remember, the one rule of thumb is that Park City is resort town real estate. Closer that you are to the slopes, the more it is like owning beachfront property. I think there are still a lot of buyers who are sidelined. And I also believe that there are a lot of shadow buyers, meaning I know there are a lot of you in Park City that have been renting for a long time because you're sitting back on the sidelines trying to figure out the market and trying to figure out the area that best serves your lifestyle and your needs best. So, one thing I do know is that there's a lot of pent up demand and there's a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines. And if interest rates go down, right, we're going into an election year next year, which rule of thumb is they could lower interest rates. And so if that happens, then prices are probably going to skyrocket again. And because buyer demand is through the roof and we still have low inventory. The Heber Valley, the Camas area, Colville, these are all the most kind of price sensitive markets for people who like price interest rate sensitive markets. And those are the markets that have more taken a hit where you see kind of that they've decreased, like prices have gone down in those areas. And something that is like a $4 million home in Midway is going to be 6 or 7 in Park City. So what is the cost to build? This is a fun story. This was a fun conversation because the cost to build has gone up dramatically and high-end neighborhoods have exorbitant costs. So Pinnacle at Promontory, which is a gated community with inside a gated community, the cost to build up there is about $1,800 a square foot, right? And these homes are likely going to cost $40 million once they are complete. Gated communities, really like Toohey, Promontory, Red Ledges, Glen Wild. I mean, your building costs really on the low end start at like 800,000 a square foot, or I'm sorry, $800 a square foot. And they increase from there. Building prices start at 400 for the low end in Park City, but finding a builder who's willing to work for that or can give you exactly what you want for that is going to be extremely challenging. If you want luxury, expect to pay $800 a square foot and up. A colleague had a very high-end client who said that they were spending $2,000 a square foot to build their home. And they were completely thrilled about it because they negotiated this luxury home builder from $2,500 a square foot all the way down to $2,000 a square foot, right? And this is like top of the budget. This is like way over the top, right? These people are over the top. They want the best of the best. This is going to be your 1%ers, your people that have private jets. So keep that in mind that the cost to build is going up a lot. I would love to help you. I don't think anybody should have to go the road alone. So if you are interested and you want more information about a specific neighborhood, about a condominium project, then please feel free to reach out to me. And again, my information is always dropped down in the description link down below.